So in the previous class, we have seen the concept of while loop. We have seen a couple of questions. There will be many questions that can be created using either while loop or for loop. One by one, we are going to see multiple type of varieties. First, I will revise that two questions that you have seen using the while loop. Then after that, I will demonstrate how the same problem can be converted using the for loop. And we are having so many questions related to this looping. And this chapter is very important for your second term examination. In your second term examination, let's see section. The second term examination, main content will be your Python, both the first part and the second part. That means first you have learned about if else, and then you have utilized the concept of looping. So now I think we can move ahead. So the first question was, ask a number from the user and find the sum of n natural numbers. We have done earlier also. We have written there x is equals to int input enter a number. After that, we are assuming that user must have given some number that has been stored in the variable x. And now let's take two temporary variables, I is equals to 0 for the loop, s is equals to 0 for finding the sum of the number. And then just we need to start the while loop while I is either less than or equals to the value that is given by the user, and that is x. Put the colon, that is mandate part. You can see the cursor is coming just after a few spaces, and at this location, write the next line, that is s is equals to s plus I. That is for summation. I is equals to I plus 1. This is for incrementation. And out of the loop, we have to just write the output, and that is print summation is equals to the variable in which the value has been taken, and the variable is s. Let's run it. Just I'm going to press F5 to run the program, and you can see here it is asking the number. I'm just going to increase the size of the font so that it will be visible to you. At the right hand bottom area, you can see number is being asked. Enter a number. I'm going to provide a number. Let it be 5, and we are getting the output, and that is 15. This will be the output of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Sorry, till 5. Same way, again, if I'm going to run it, and next value I would like to provide is 10. And this is the output of 10. Even if I'm going to provide 100 also, I'm going to get the correct answer for 100 also. So this was the solution for the problem. Ask a number from the user and find the sum of natural numbers till the number that, from 1 to the number that has been given by the user. Now the next question was, Write a program in Python to ask a number from the user and print a factorial of that number. And we have seen earlier also that the minor changes like I will start from 1, S will start from 1, because we have seen that when summation, the question is related to summation or addition, we have to start the value with 0, because adding 0 will not change any magnitude, but for the question related to multiplication, we have to start with 1, because we are knowing that multiplying something by 0 will make the entire magnitude 0. That is why we are using the variable s with the value 1. And what the next change is required for factorial? In place of plus, we have to utilize the concept of multiplication. If you have not noted down, you can note it down here also. And in place of the message of summation, I would like to change the message, and the message will be for factorial. We don't need to change the name of the variable. We damn not care. Just we need to mention on the values, not on the name of the variables. Identifiers can be anything. Let's run it. I'm giving a number, let it be 5. And we are getting the output factorial is equals to 120. And why it is giving? Because the multiplication of 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 will provide you 120. You can re-verify it manually also. I'm going to run it one more time. And the next value I would like to provide is 10. And this is the output of multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to 10. That is the factorial of 10. Same way, if next value, if I'm going to provide 100, and this is the output of multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to 100. So this is the practical example that I have shown you through the spider. You can note down if you have not missed something. So now what this is the example of your factorial. And now we have seen couple of examples related to while loop. Let's see. Let's have the loop related to the for loop also. So this was the last slide in which we have seen how the factorials can be calculated using the while loop. Let's move ahead. The next segment is the for loop. Just like the while loop, for loop is also utilized for the same work, for the repetition of tasks. The syntax is first you need to write for, then put a variable that can be used for initialization or for maintaining the for loop. Then we are using here the operator in. In is the operator. This is the membership operator, in operator. And then we have to maintain a sequence. That sequence can be replaced by something else also that we will see in the coming slides. Sequence, what a sequence is basically. Sequence is a collection of either it can be a string or a collection of integers, or in place of sequence, we can utilize the concept of range also. And in most of the cases, we are going to use this range functions only. We will see in the coming slide and with the example also. So you all are requested to first note down the syntax of the for loop so that we can move ahead with the practical part. And as I have already mentioned you that after the class, I will share the video also. If someone would like to have the reference, you can go through the video also. So I hope you have noted down. We can move ahead. So there are just two content in this for loop according to syntax. First is the variable. You are knowing about the variable, what a variable is. And the second is your sequence. This is a new for you. And that sequence will be a string or collection of integer or even the range. A range is the most important part that we are going to see in the coming slides. So this is the example that we are using through the sequence. This is known as sequence. The variables that we are putting here will be known as sequence. This is the syntax of for loop. Nothing, no need to write the separate code for the point of initialization. No need to write the separate code for the point of condition, and no need to write the separate code for either incrementation or decrementation. This is the best part of for loop. That is why students like it bit more as compared to the while loop. So for I in these are the values. That means I have given the range of values. It will work for 1, then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. Set of values I have given as the sequence of the numbers. And the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will see in the output box when just after the slide, I will show you the practical example. I hope you have noted down. We can move ahead. First, I allowed you, but as per the rule, you have to maintain the name along with your class and the section. That is why I put you in the waiting room. So if anyone will found any problem, you can just message me through the WhatsApp so that I can verify it and I can respond accordingly. So this was the for loop. Introduction of for loop. In this for loop, we will just utilize the variables. We are going to utilize the concept of in operator. And after that, we will put some sequence. And then based on the sequence, our code will be executed. And next, we have seen the example also. This was the example in which we are using for I in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is used that we are using the comma operator will be used as the sequence. This is basically the sequence and the value will be printed here. The best part of for loop is we don't need to utilize the concept of initialization, condition, incrementation, or decrementation separately. For automatically utilizes the concept of all these part. Automatically, the value of I will be initialized by the value 1, and then it will end it to 5, and automatically the incrementation will be done by the for loop only. And this is the best part of your for loop. So I hope you have noted down. We can move ahead. Next part is your range function. As I have already told you that in most of the questions, we are going to utilize the concept of range, and it is very important for you. In place of sequence inside the for loop, we can utilize the concept of range. Just we have to write the function range, and in the bracket, we can put at most 3 values. The first value will be used for the beginning point or the initial point. This value will be used, that will not be the end point. Like if I'm going to write something, for example, let me show you one thing. If I'm going to write, let it be range in the bracket 1, 10, 1. What does it mean? It means that your looping will start from 1, but it will end to 9. Actually, the last value will not be included. This is the point of exclusion. So this will not be the end one. This is end minus 1 value. Basically, end plus 1 value. This will be the end plus 1 value. So if I'm writing here 1 and then 10 and writing here 1, that means this is a step part. You can skip this one also. You can just write 1, 10 also. It will work in the same manner. That means it will start from 1. It will end to 9. It will not touch this part. And automatically the value will be incremented from 1 to 9. You don't need to write the separate code for the incrementation. And this is the best part of this range and the best part of the for loop. Same way, if you would like to run in the reverse order, at that point of time, your beginning point will be 10. And at the end, if you are writing 1, that means it will run from 10 to 2, not 1. This part will not be included. This is the point of exclusion. If you want to run from 10 to 1, at that position, your end point must be 0. So that it can run from 10 to 1. But it will run from 10 to 1 only when, if for the stepping you are writing -1. It will suggest the for loop or the range that move from this position to this position in reverse order. So at that point of time, step is required. Otherwise, step is not always required. I will show you some example also. So this is about range function that we are going to use in for loop. Hope you have noted down. We can move ahead. This is the example of the range function. Beginning part, make it end plus 1 part, and this is your step part. Example for I in range 1, 11. So it will be printed 1 to 10. A special content you can see here, I have written here n is equals to double quote, and it will be used to print the value one after another. I will show you this thing practically. It will help you to understand the concept of windows. So please note it down fastly so that I can show the entire content through the practical session also. And this slide will illustrate you how the same type of code written for using the while loop can be converted into for loop. The question is print of n natural numbers. Basically, this is not n natural number. This example is for print of 6 natural numbers. So at that, for this, I has been started with 0. It is ending to 5, not 6, make it 5 only because it is less than 6. So it will run till 5 only. The value will be printed and it will be incremented. But the same code, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines code can be converted to for loop. Just we have to write for I in range. 6. What does it mean by 6? It means automatically start from 0, end to 5, and move one by one and print the value. This slide will illustrate you the difference between a while loop and a for loop. I hope you have noted down so that I can show you some practical examples also. Now let me show you the practical examples. So this was the question that we dealt using the while loop, factorial of the number. Let's have new programming segment. What will happen if I'm just writing for I in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, colon, print I. Let's see whether we are going to have any output or not. You can see the output. It is coming at the right bottom area of the screen. And the output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the example related to sequence. I have given the values in sequence. In place of this, we can write the concept of range also. R-A-N-G-E, range. Just the starting value I need is 1. The end value I am using is 6. And the stepping will be 1. We will get the same output. You can see here the same output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is not always required to write a sequence. You can utilize the concept of range also. And in place of these 3 segments, if I am writing 6, only 6, then you can see the change. And the change is it will start from 0. Earlier it was starting from 1, and now it is starting from 0. That is the only difference. If you are putting only the last value, so the first value will be taken by the compiler, and that will be 0. So if you would like to have some other value apart from 0, then I have to mention the point of initialization. So if I'm writing 2, 6, then I will get the output 2, 3, 4, 5, because last value will not be included. Same way, if I'm writing here 2, 10, you can see here that I am going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now for 2, 10, if I'm going to utilize the stepping of 2, what does it mean by 2? That means just like the previous example in while loop, we utilize I is equals to I plus 1. And this is something like I is equals to I plus 2. So the first value is 2. The next value will be 2 more than 2. So it will become 4. And again 2 more than 2. So it will become 6. That means the output we are going to get is 2, 4, 6, 8. That after 8, after adding 2 to 8, you are going to get the value 10. And that will not be shown to you because the last value will be only 9. It can't go beyond 9. That means if you are going to write here 2, 10, 5, it will be 5 stepping. So you are going to have the output only 2 and 7, because 2 plus 5 is 7, and 7 plus 5 is beyond 10. So you are going to get only 2 output, that is 2, 6. So 2 and 7. Same way, if I am going to utilize 2, 10, let it be in the reverse order, 10, 1, minus 1. Then the output will be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1 will not be included. If you want to get the 1 also, at that point of time, you have to use 0 here. Now you can see that in the output, we are having 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 also. Someone can ask that, sir, what will happen if I'm not going to provide any stepping there? Whether it will be run? Let's see. No output. Error is not giving, but you are not going to get any output if you are going to miss this stepping, if you are going to write something in reverse order. So for reverse order, you have to mention the step. If you like two stepping, just write -2, run it. Accordingly, you will get the output 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. I hope you understood how the for loop with the range can be utilized. Now, firstly, I'm going to solve the two problems that we have seen the previous class. That is the sum of unnatural number and the sum of and the factorial of the number given by the user. Let's start firstly. First, I will show you the sum of unnatural number, and then I will show you the factorial of the number. First, we need to ask the number from the user. So I will write for x is equals to int input, enter a number. After getting the message, user will provide a number, and then I will use the for loop for I in is the operator, range. What will be the range? Let's start from 0 and let's end to the value that was given by the user, and that is x. But the problem is, if I'm going to use the x, that means the x will not be included, that because we are knowing that it will not include the last value. So I will use x plus 1 so that the last value will also be utilized. And in this format, just put the colon here. Colon is mandatory. I will utilize the concept of summation. The same line I'm going to utilize here, as equals to s plus I. And after the for loop, just print the message summation is equals to s. So the same code. The one problem you are going to get is I have not initialized the value of s, so it can create the error. So just above the for loop, I am just going to start with the value of s by 0. Let's execute it. 5, F5 I have just pressed. It is running. I'm just giving a value, let it be 5, and the output is 15. We have seen in the previous class also, this is the summation of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. And if I'm going to miss here, if I in place of x, if I'm going to only in place of x plus 1, if I'm going to write only x, at that point of time, if I'm going to put here 5, I'm getting only 10, because 10 is the output of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 5 has not been added. So it is our duty to utilize the code correctly. That is why I'm writing here plus 1. And now if I'm going to write here 5, it will become 50. Same way, if I'm going to write here 50, sorry, in the input, I am writing here 50, and we are getting the output accordingly. And just if we would like to know the factorial of the number, what we need to change, s will become 1. The range will start from 1. And in place of s is equals to s plus 1, we have to write as s is equals to s multiplied by I. Earlier it was s equals to s plus I, now it is s equals to s multiplied by I. And the message will be, in place of summation, I am writing factorial. Factorial. So for 5, we must get 120. Let's see whether we are getting or not, and we are getting. So this is the problem. This is the solution of asking a number from the user and find a factorial of the number using for loop. And this was the example in which we have seen asking the number from the user and solving it using the while loop. The basic process was this one and this one, and that is same. This is the output line, and this one is your processing line. This is your input line, and that is, these three are same in for loop also. Processing, output and input. The only difference is in place of while we are writing for only. So hope you have noted down. If not, after the class, after a few moments, or even after the 5th period, I will share the video of the class with you. If you need to take the reference, you can take it for your examination point of view also. Till then, take care of yourself. Have a nice day, beta. We will meet again. Probably, if the weather will permit, it will be an offline class. Otherwise, in the online class next week, same day, same time. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.